What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a favourites video for August, so let's dive straight in. And our first cap off the rank, as always, is music. A lot of new albums came out, some that I was looking forward to, some that I wasn't as much. Discovering, a couple of new artists, releasing their first EP or whatever. Some bands and artists coming back. A whole bunch happened this month. So starting off at the top, as per my playlist on Spotify, linked below, we start off with Piggy Azalea. I believe that song's Sex on the Beach. I'm just pulling up my Spotify. I believe that song's Sex on the Beach. Then the As December Falls album, Happier. Normally I have these sorts of things written down, but not this month. Yeah, Happier. It came out, the song Nothing on You is on the playlist. Burr, again, releasing another single. At some point, I'm really hoping Burr releases an EP this year. I have been a fan of Burr's since before she started uploading her music to Spotify. I discovered her through TikTok, and I love her music. It's so good. Charlotte Sands, one of the new artists I discovered this month. We've got her song Special. Don Broco, I believe this one was this an album? Was this an album? No. So the single One True Prince came out, but I've just moved Manchester Super Reds #1 fan down to that spot in high anticipation for their album to come out next month in September. I believe is when it's supposed to be coming out. Nessa Barrett, another one of these new artists that I discovered this month. I'm not exactly sure how many songs she's got. That's new artist. She got a couple. Okay. Has she got any albums though? No, she does not. So we're waiting for a Nessa Barrett album. But the song I Hope You're Miserable Until You're Dead it hits. It really does. It's a good one to listen to. Tinashe's new album 333 came out. A personal favourite of the album is X. Tinashe is one of the artists that sort of feels a little bit out of place just in the general playlist, because I'm not a huge fan of like R&B, like modern, specify modern R&B. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just annoys me. Which is funny because it's one of the more popular genres these days. So I just don't listen to the radio, but Tinashe is one of the ones that I like. So her new album we were looking forward to it. However, we hadn't listened to anything off of it until it came out. Blackbear had a new album come out. The song At My Worst is the one that I picked for the playlist. Blackbear Brides released their song Torch, which is awesome. I think, if I do some quick mental maths here in my head, that this is probably the last single that they will release before Phantom Tomorrow comes out in October, and I'm so excited. It will be a case of I will be buying 2 copies when it comes out, one for myself and one for my friend, because we both have birthdays in October. But my birthday's right at the beginning, and theirs is right near the end, so it has a higher chance of coming out before their birthday. Trashbot released a new album. The song He's So Good. I've picked for this playlist Hailstorm, brought out their new single Back from the Dead. Asking Alexandria has their new single Alone Again. The Score has their new song Top of the World. Little Lotus released his album, the one that has Romantic Disaster with Chrissy Costanza of Against the Current on it. It is obviously the song that is on this playlist because we adore Chrissy Costanza in every possible way there is to adore her. Lord's new album came out. The song Mood Ring I picked for this was actually really sort of tough to pick off Lord's album because there were a couple of really good songs that I was like, yeah, okay, alright. And it came down to the inspiration behind it. Mood Ring actually relates back to like the New Age like philosophy and stuff as far as like religion is concerned. So there's a lot of like talking about crystals, like healing crystals and that sort of stuff, and that sort of aligns with my own belief system. That and it a bop. I mean, what else did we expect from Lord? Switchfoot have a new album out. The song Fluorescent is amazing. Listen, Esso released their new album, The Sun, and then about a week after, announced a tour for it. New South Wales is locked down, so I don't know how that's going to go. At this point in time, I'm not even bothering buying a ticket to go to Newcastle to see Seth Century in October, which I was looking forward to doing, because that was announced before New South Wales got locked down. But we still have some Australian hip-hop to listen to in the meantime with this new album. My personal favourite is Lighthouse, featuring Jake Isaac. Churches brought out their new album called Screen Violence. Is that what you're called? Yes, Screen Violence. And the song He Said, She Said is amazing. There was a point where I was going to do a song cover, and that was going to be the song I was going to cover. And then we got a little bit further towards the end of the month. It still hadn't been recorded, filmed, whatever. And then my song choice sort of changed. And now we're here, and I'm just bring on September. Grayscale also released a new album. Their song Dirty Bombs is on my list. Lilith of Halsey's new album is on my list. Johnny Gilbert released a new song, All My Friends Are Dead, a bit bleak, even though it sounds like it's like super emo, it's really not. Like, you listen to it and it's not as emo as you think it should be. One Republic released a new album, and the song Rescue Me is on it. And then second to last on the list, because I've got these in alphabetical order and by release date. So second to last, with the last being With Confidence's new album, the one that has Big Cat Judgment Day on it. The Summerset are back. I knew that, what was it, 2016, they went on hiatus. 2016 was the year I started making playlists each year of like the songs that I just jammed out to that year. Like I'll rephrase it, the new songs that I jammed out to that year. But yeah, no, they've come back together, minus one member that they had before they went on hiatus. Which means obviously Dales has gone and figured himself out, because they're back, and their new song Street Lightning is amazing. I love it. I had it on repeat because I was trying to learn the lyrics and the timing, tempo, and all that sort of stuff, because it was going to be a song that I was going to cover once it was released. I'm a huge Summerset fan, so nothing could have made me happier than to open up Spotify and see, you know, in my little new music line, Street Lightning by the Summerset sitting there. What a glorious, glorious day, and they've now been back for a week, so not expecting anything new from them yet, although if they want to release something sort of more towards the end of September, I wouldn't complain either. Gaming, this was a big month for gaming as well, because we got locked down, and I had ample spare time on my hands. So on PlayStation 4, I predominantly played Borderlands 2. I didn't start anew, I just continued going with where I was at. I think I started at like level 21 when I started so getting back into it. I do know that I'm up to the part after, like that I started after the part where Sanctuary gets like made into a floating city sort of thing. I do remember that bit. But other than that, I've got no idea what had happened in the last part. I'm playing as Maya because when it comes to the Borderlands games, I am a Siren main. In the pre-sequel, I generally go for the Duchess because she's got her cryo powers that kind of work in a similar fashion. Borderlands 2, really, if I get to the end and decide to do a replay, another playthrough, start to finish, I'm probably going to go with Krieg, because even as a Siren, I will still, the weapon setup that I usually give myself is designed for sort of running headlong into battle. And plus, Maya and Krieg are so cute. I want a relationship so that we can couple cosplay as Maya and Krieg. That's all. I also started playing Splitgate, which I know is becoming very popular very quickly because it's essentially, it's essentially an FPS version of the Portal games, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I found my PS Vita and was playing Gravity Rush. On my Switch, I played Pokemon Sword, as well as a little bit of... I mean, earlier tonight I was playing some Rocket League. have I played Minecraft Dungeons this month? I may have right at the beginning of the month. But, like, what's time at this point during lockdown? Except the thing that counts down the seconds until my inevitable psychological meltdown. I'm fine. As far as board games are concerned, Happy Little Dinosaurs was right at the beginning of the month, and between my parents sometimes being at work, sometimes not being at work because of lockdown, same with my parents, my sister basically always being at work because she's a vet nurse. Yeah, we haven't really had time for board games. However, my mom did voice a desire to start playing board games about once a week sort of thing, sort of while we're in lockdown, so I might be able to get games night back up. That'll be good. That'll be something to look forward to. Yeah. Didn't really do much reading this month. Probably should have. Reading probably would have helped pass some of the time, and I do have a cupboard full of books that are just currently sitting there collecting dust, that I could just start at one end and work my way through the ones that I haven't read yet. Maybe revisit the Beautiful Creatures series as well, because I love that series. Yeah. At the moment, I'm still on what's the name of this book up here? Literally up here. The Cousins. I'm still on The Cousins. I've not picked this book up in a hot second. At this point in time, I don't even remember where I was up to, so it's probably going to be a start again situation. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because its author also wrote this one. One of Us is Lying, which in the next month is going to be a series on Stan, and I really want to finish the book first, so I'm probably gonna pull it out and start with that. But Karen McManus is an amazing author. I do recommend her stuff. It's not that I'm not interested in the book. It's just that I don't know. I enjoy reading, but I get burned out by it very quickly. Usually because I binge multiple chapters at once. Once I get into the zone of a good book, I don't want to put it down. And then by the time I do put it down, it's usually because I have to go to sleep and it's 3, 4 a.m. Yeah. Love-hate relationship with reading. But that's, yeah. I decided sort of later in the month that I was just going to start watching people's collective, like their filmographies of comedy specials. So we started with Burnham. So we watched watched Make Happy, and we watched Inside. Inside being the comedy specials that a lot of TikTok songs are coming from, so I now understand the context. And it was funny, and also called everybody out, because he made it while in lockdown, and you could see the decline of mental health throughout the whole thing. So with it both being a comedy special and it being sort of a year in the life of I thought it was really good to sort of show like this is what it's like living with mental health, and especially knowing that he's in his private life he's more of an introvert anyway. It was really sort of, yeah, I enjoyed it. And then I watched Jack Whitehall because he's only got 2. He's got At Large and I'm Only Joking. Film before we got locked down, The Suicide Squad. That was this month, and it feels like it was last year. Because like I said, what is time anymore? I also, not being able to go anywhere or do anything, paid for the premiere access to Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus. It's really good. It's really good. And I suppose if you had like, little kids and you just wanted to watch like, a bit of an action adventure movie, but one that's also okay for the kids, and yeah, it's probably worth it. If you were going to watch it multiple times, sort of thing. For my one viewing that I did this month, probably not, but I did it anyway, and I don't regret it. And then on the 27th, Cruella became free to stream. Well, like, not free, but like with a subscription, free. There was no premiere access to it because it had released like last month or something. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And so between it and Black Widow, I kind of get it. I kind of get why Emma Stone and Scarlett Johansson trying to sue Disney. Get it. Talking about Disney Plus and streaming, I watched the behind the scenes, the Marvel Assembled for Loki, which was very interesting. I do like the behind the scenes stuff. It's kind of what I want to do for a living, so finding it interesting is just a bonus. What If started and came out. I will be doing when episode 5 comes out. I will be doing a video on it. So that's I think it's like the 8th or something. Yes, the 8th. I'll be doing a video on What If once we're halfway through the season. The Bad Batch season 1 finale came out, and I kind of knew all season that they were going to eventually get back to trying to get Crosshair to rejoin them. I was ill prepared for the twist that they gave, that he had removed his chip and he'd still made the decision to join the Empire, even though we know canonically they don't have clones working for the Empire. So it was like interesting. So I'm keen to see what happens in season 2, because we know it's going to get a season 2. Very interested to see. Was kind of a little let down that in the earlier episodes they sort of established it without outright mentioning it, that Omega might have had some like mimicry ability, since all of Clone Force 99, all of the Bad Batch have, an enhanced skill with thought hers might have been mimicry, and therefore she would have been able to, like, you know, pick up Hunter's tracking skills and Tech's knowledge and, you know, Wrecker's fighting style, how to hack into things like Echo, so that whatever group she was with was going to be able to sort of fill in what it didn't have, sort of a thing. And they didn't really come through with that. But the fact that she's got a little bow thing means that she's kind of filling in as the ranged support like Crosshair would have been anyway, so I really hope that that gets explored a little bit more. And then the Love Victor Season 2 finale came out, and by came out I mean it aired on Star. It was released on Star in Australia. And I want to talk about it. I'm very keen for season 3. Very keen for season 3. Netflix, we watched a lot on Netflix. 2 episodes of Rick and Morty premiered this month. Season 5, episode 7 and episode 8. I finally got around to watching volume 2 of Love, Death and Robots. Excellent animated anthology series. It's really good. I watched all of Castlevania. I'm not sure if there's a new season coming. It seems to me all nicely tied up in a bow, so I don't know why they would go any further with it. But they could, if they really wanted to. I watched Monster Hunter Legend of the Guild and was, I'm not gonna lie, a little let down. The animation to me felt a little bit stiff. The story wasn't great. The characters sort of felt generic to me. And yeah, you don't really see them hunting too many monsters before they, you know, getting like some training in or whatever. It's just sort of the mentor character shows up, announces that there's a big bad on the way, takes the protagonist character around to recruit some others, and then they fight the big bad. And it's like, how are you expecting him to... Anyway, it didn't make sense to me, but I'm sure if you were a hardcore Monster Hunter fan, you would have a different opinion to me, and that's fine. I just wasn't a huge fan of this in particular. You know, I didn't, and by the same token, I did enjoy the live action movie. I can kind of understand why they put in real world, like, soldiers into it, even though that's not at all a Monster Hunter thing. I can kind of understand why they would, so that general audiences have something that they can relate to, like, oh, that's a human from Earth, and we are not in Earth. But like Lord of the Rings and Warcraft managed to do okay, or you know, or higher without that. So to each their own, I suppose. Pacific Rim Black, God, that's a good series. If you like Pacific Rim, like I do, and you like anime, like I do, this is the perfect marriage of the two of them. Yeah. With a nice sort of build-up of tension, as well as sort of a recurring, ever-looming big bad presence in one of the kaiju, as well as a nice sort of emotional story for the main characters. It's really good. And then The Witch and Nightmare of the Wolf follows Vesemir, who you find out at the end of that film is Geralt's mentor. So I really enjoyed that as well. As far as things like tech is concerned, not really anything to discuss there. You know, I haven't bought any new tech because I've been locked inside. I haven't travelled anywhere really. I mean, beginning of the month I went to Kempsey to see the Suicide Squad with my best friend, and to see my godson. And other than that, not really. So yeah, haven't gone anywhere because we've been locked down and it's essential travel only and not outside my local government area, which doesn't even go as far north as Port Macquarie, which is only an hour north. So yeah, it's fun times. Exercise, rudimentary at best. Yeah. Exercise has been rudimentary at best. Not proud of my exercise routine at the moment. And by routine I mean how often I go and exercise. So yeah, should probably actually double check that my gym membership's up to date as far as payment's concerned, because I go to Anytime Fitness and there's literally one just around the corner from where I live. So I could actually go there, and I've got photographs of my workouts, so it wouldn't be that hard to write them down. Maybe I should do that. And then, yeah, last but not least is fashion. As you saw in my last video, I finally finished one of my Pokemon OCs. I'm about halfway through done with actually, you know, like making my decks. So that's really cool. Yeah, I will probably make a video during the next month talking about sort of the Pokédex tropes and how I'm able to make like 100 Pokemon decks just using tropes. So if that excites you, stay tuned. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell as well if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. If you enjoyed this one, give it a big old thumbs up. Again, things like my link for my Spotify playlist, yeah, where the Unstable Games site to get your own copy of Happy Little Dinosaurs. I don't know, I could probably add links for Disney Plus and Netflix and Stan and that sort of stuff, but I'm pretty sure we all know how to get to those. But yeah, there'll be some links below anyway, if you want to check any of that stuff that I've spoken in this video about. But yeah, other than that, until next time guys, keep your head screwed on.